Welcome to day 5 of ZenTen with Jackie Rose of Zentangle. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Start to feel totally relaxed and in the present moment. And we're going to pick up our pencil because today's shading day. We're going to shade what we did. So let's start with the first pattern that we did, which was Flamingo Rose. And with the side of your tip of your pencil, just give it a little bit of shading right along the edge of this entire perimeter of where we drew Flamingo Rose. Now just take your time, really focus. Nice and relaxed. And now let's take our tortillon and face that point of your tortillon to the edge of that line. And we're just going around in circular motions, smoothing that out, staying right along that line, watching this pattern transform with this little bit of pencil, little bit of graphite. Oh, did we do our tortillon toast? I don't think we did. When I count to 3, you must yell out in wherever you are, tortillon. 1, 2, 3, tortillon. Very good. Now you can use your tortillon. It's just a Jackie Rose tradition to do a tortillon toast before we actually use it. So look how cool that looks. The camera doesn't even show the exact shading, but you can still see it and it still looks really good, I think. Okay, so now I want to do another layer. So where they connect, so I'm going to kind of skip this one, but see right here how there's another layer right under here. I'm just right where they connect. I'm just going to put a little graphite. So wherever it looks like it's going underneath or connecting, just put a little bit there. And don't think too much about it, just wherever it feels you think that, little shading could benefit. Put a little bit there. Okay, good. So let's move over to Phycops. This was day 2. And I think I'm going to move right over to this one here, and I'm just going to put a little shading right where where these lines are. So kind of giving the section where the lines are a little shaded aura on each side. And just put a little graphite down, and then take the tortillon, and then you can kind of really blend that in. And when I blend it in, I'm going to push a little bit to the outer edge right there as well. Okay. Go around again, blend it in some more, maybe go a little bit darker along those edges. And when I say darker, it's just by blending it over and over, it's kind of making it a little bit darker, blending it in some more. And if some gets on the tips of them, I kind of like that actually. So I'm going to just kind of, with what's left of my tortillon, just push a little bit up from the beginning of these tips, maybe towards one side. Get a little shading, looks nice. And now let's go to this one here. And let's bring some shading, let's see, maybe just right down the side of each one of these lines that come from that middle center. Just bringing a little bit of graphite down. And then blending that in. Focusing on that one side. Okay, I like that. All right, so 2 more to go. Let's see, I think for this one here, just gonna put a little shading right along the perimeter, including the tips of these hooks. Just all along the perimeter of this one. I'm going to bring that down a little bit, maybe put a little bit on either end, so there's a little highlight in the middle there. So that's good. And then for here, I'm going to go do the same thing, put a little bit on top of each one, whether it's an orb or a hook, and blend it in. And then maybe bring that down a little bit on each one to have a lighter layer coming down. All right, one more to go. And for cogwheel, see how it kind of like loops here and they're kind of lined up. I'm going to put a little bit of shading right there, kind of like right where these loops are lining up, even though they're not lined up perfectly. And then give it a little shading. This is just picking one area at a time. This is very different than what we're used to doing for shading. Just kind of this one, and look how it kind of gives it this 3D look already. So find a few areas like that. Here's another one where they're kind of all these little loops or bumps are all kind of lined up. So put a little graphite right down over them, blend it in, pushing a little bit over to each side. And so I would just do a couple of those on each one of these cogwheels, find where they line up. And if yours doesn't line up, then you can do the shading like all around the perimeter again, like we did, or just find an area and go for it, like I am right here. A little bit of an area there, or just find any area and just pick one little area, put some graphite down and then blend it in and push it around. And when you're done, make sure you sign your artwork any way you want with your initials, your name, your chalk, and take a look and turn it around to see how it looks in a different way, because Zentangle is non-representational, which means there's no, not supposed to look like anything, so there's no right side up, unless you want it to be. And there we have it, so beautiful. So please like this video. Please post a copy of your tile on the designated post on the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/rejuventangle. And if you want information on classes, or there's lots of other great stuff on my website, videos and downloads and all that at Rejuventangle. Not really downloads, but there's some really great stuff, information there, rejuventangle.com or jackirose.com. So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing what you all did. And feel free to make a comment as well. See you next week.